Hey, Travis here at Books, Builds, and More, and today I have a quick video explaining a recent change I have in my Jurassic Reading Challenge. Now, for anyone who's been following me specifically for this challenge, originally you would know that I would have, for this month of February, Nicole Brona's second book of her Midnight Detective Agency series, Murderous Fairies, on the lineup for this challenge. Well, that actually changed. I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, so please just bear with me. Now, February was Triceratops month, and the criteria for it was to read something part of a trilogy. Well, this is what I originally chose. However, I also had book club obligations this month. The club's pick, their theme was Queen of Hearts, which their pick was Alice in Wonderland, which I did a review on a couple of weeks ago and already talked about that. And we had to do a personal pick as well, and to read something with a romanticized or strong female character. And I chose, originally, Nicole's book, Midnight Murders, which is the third book of this series. So this was going to be my original Jurassic Reading Challenge obligation, and this was going to be my personal book club requirement for the Queen of Hearts theme for the book club. Well, I didn't get to this one in time because February ended up being such a crap month that got me behind on so many levels. I just simply couldn't get to Midnight Murders. So what happened was I ended up moving this one to the book club obligation, and my Jurassic Reading Challenge replacement was the first book of the Gwendy trilogy. It was the only other trilogy read I could find that I had on my bookshelves that I know of, to where I could still fulfill the obligation for the Jurassic Reading Challenge criteria for Triceratops month. So I read the first one, Gwendy's Button Box, which was actually a novella. It was only like 111 pages or something like that. It was quite short. I just recently finished it. Now, when I first put together my Jurassic Reading Challenge TBR, I was going through, and the first thing that came up for Triceratops Trilogy Reading Month was this, because it had trilogy in the title. However, I quickly scrapped this one because I knew I was doing the Dark Tower series as an extended reading this year, and this was just going to be way too much Stephen King, more than I actually needed, to be honest with you, in the first place, without adding more onto it. However, because I made a promise to the book club that I would have a personal pick of Nicole Brona's book, it ended up being Murderous Fairies. So I ended up using this for the personal pick for the book club, and this one is now my official Jurassic Reading Triceratops pick for the month of February. And I do have reviews of both of these books coming out sometime within the next week. So be on the lookout for those if you want to within the next week. And this is actually the biggest reason why I'm making this little announcement video here, is so that whenever I get to these reviews, I'm not explaining all of this, in each of these reviews, because I just don't want to have to do that. So, I hope anyone that follows me, especially on this Jurassic Reading Challenge, watch this video before watching these reviews. And honestly, if it weren't for the fact that I just got so far behind on things this month and didn't get to the third book of this series in time to make it the book club's personal pick and keep this as my Jurassic Reading Challenge, this wouldn't have changed. And another reason why I really didn't want to put this one on here is because, like I said, I had the Dark Tower series going on, and also my first Jurassic Park reading for the month of January, which was the Tyrannosaurus Rex read, was to read something by a favorite author or reread a book, or like reread a favorite book. But I chose The Gunslinger, by Stephen King. So I've got two Stephen Kings, which I didn't really want, but it ended up being that way. So it just is what it is, So I don't anticipate anything the rest of my Jurassic Reading Challenge TBR here. I don't anticipate any more changes like that. And I will explain more of this probably in my monthly recap, which I'm going to explain why February was just kind of a very down month for me, you know, after a huge comeback to the channel. Well, huge for me anyway. That'll be coming out in a couple of weeks, I'm sure, so be on the lookout for that as well. And if you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much for watching and understanding about this change, and I do hope to see you in the next video.